What's going on, everybody? Savage Drumming here with my friends. Oh, stop. No. I have to blurt that out. Nick, Randy, we're hanging out. Episode 6. Party with the devil. I'm sorry. I've been listening to a lot of Attila lately. Episode 6 of the Crystal Chronicles podcast. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. I know you guys have been absolutely loving the stuff lately, especially on the YouTube. We continue to gain more and more subscribers every single week, and I'm so grateful that you guys are enjoying it. What I find interesting as a metrics perspective is you guys are watching most of the podcast. There's a click-through rate and you guys are watching most of it, and I appreciate it. Well, the other thing I'm noticing is a lot of you guys aren't subscribing, so don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you can see when once a week these get posted. But first and foremost, let's get into the topics. This week, we're talking about how the newer cards are playing and the most recent LQ or tournament. Taking it away, the Source LQ had 24 people and has been seen over 600 times. And the winner is Mono Water.
I kept hearing that Mono Water was a good deck, but it was not as good as like the other variants, Firewater monsters, and then like the more recent iteration being Wally monsters. So it's kind of funny to see this come out and win the LQ with a couple of heavy hitters in the tournament, and they played a couple of the new cards in it as well, like the new Opus 26 Ajda.
It was certainly interesting to see. I wasn't expecting to see Ajda in the list, if I'm gonna be honest. They also played quite a number of Leviathans, 12 different Leviathan summons.
Yeah,
Tristan's a real big Leviathan fan.
You don't say. Ajdaja cannot be chosen by your opponent's summons. When it enters the field, gains cannot be chosen by your opponent's summons or abilities until the end of your opponent's turn. Kind of like the card that you had mentioned last week, for those of you paying attention and keeping track. When a water forward you control attacks, choose one forward, return it to... Wow! So this is a bounce deck. Okay. Now you have me interested in the first brood and looking up all those cards, because the lightning one deals 7k, the water one bounces.
The other two are trash.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow, go figure.
They're like Opus 9, Opus 6 cards. There's a light one and a dark one. They're not really good.
Yeah, Hraeshvelgr and Nidhogg.
Oh, Hraeshvelgr. That's the other one. Okay, I know that card.
And Nidhogg, I believe, is the last one, the dark one.
Yeah, what is it, 9 cost? Pretty bad.
Yeah.
Just another typical Witch of the Fens list, except this time not using lightning, so Moth Slasher to find itself, and not using fire. Just a mono water list. I'm kind of surprised by it, but at the same time, I'm not as surprised as I could be. Witch of the Fens is extremely strong. Lowering your opponent's power by 7,000 is fucking incredible, and those of you guys sleeping on it should stop sleeping on it. There is one card you guys will have to remind me. It's a water backup, I think it is, that prevents somebody from lowering the power of your forwards. Name?
Yeah,
Kalmia. If you guys are running Kalmia, you shut this shit down pretty quickly. However, can't prep for everything. Kind of like you can't prep for having barbecue sauce on my Titus, Randy.
What did he say?
Did you see this list?
I do, and I still stand by what I said. I believe it was last podcast. I still don't think that Cat 10 is all that powerful. I mean, obviously they made it the top 8. There were 24 players. The list is it's different, but I don't understand how they're making it into top 8. But at the same time, look, results speak for themselves. They did what it do, and I think the more interesting thing is that they're playing the light unit in the deck.
It's still a good card. I'm surprised that they're running the two color, 2 costs Zidane, because I don't see any way to play that card. But
the only way to play
gotta pitch him to play
pick
him.
the other Zidane, yeah.
Gotta pitch him to play him.
he's not that good. Stop running it that way. I mean, he's good in the sense that, like, well, there's not even another fire card in the list in case you wanted to. He's still good pitch fodder, you know. You could pitch for the Y'shtola or the Lulu, but brother, I don't like having that. Another Leviathan player there, playing 2 Leviathan. Randy, you hated this Famfrit.
I still hate it today. It's not the worst card, but it's also not the best card.
I appreciate the card art at the very least, but I'm kind of with you a little bit. Like, I think an auto ability cancel is very powerful at the cost of a backup.
It doesn't even cancel the auto ability. It just kills the forward that triggered it.
Oh. Well, you know what? In a world of Clive Ifrit, I don't think this hurts that bad. I'm willing to lose a backup. Dude, I play the 8-cost Vayne. I'm willing to throw backups away.
I mean, you don't have to.
Yeah, you don't necessarily
have to
get
give
rid of
up
your
the backup.
But like
It's
I
just
said,
a
it's
thing
not
to
the
reduce the
worst.
cost by 2, which is kind of like if you're fully tapped out, you only got, the 2 cards in hand, and they play the Ramza for game, and you're just like, no.
Yeah, you got a point. I don't mind paying 4 to I don't mind paying 4 to do this. Putting it forward into the break zone.
The one thing is, you get a little bit of extra. Like, the one thing that makes this card not terrible is the fact you draw 1.
That's also true.
That's pretty good, actually. Being able to, like, you're not gonna see, this is what Famfrit's good for. He's good for things like Ifrit or Odin, where like oddmodding the auto isn't gonna do you any favors, but being able to choose a thing like a forward whose auto has been triggered and just killing it, and then you get the draw off of that. That's where I think this comes in and does pretty well. I think Ifrit's like the biggest target because like, oh, I stopped your first auto, but now you're gonna hit me with your swing, so I have to eat that anyway. Right.
Yeah, this will outright just get rid of it. And
Yep.
Like I said, it's not the best, but it's certainly not the worst.
Those people out there hard casting their 7-cost Ifrit, and you're just like, how about I kill it for 2 because you get the draw 1.
Or hard casting your Ramza.
Yeah. How about I kill it for 2?
How about I kill it for 2? Adding
I think
on...
in that kind of world, a hard casted Ifrit getting bombed by that Famfrit, all right. Now you got me.
Yeah.
All right.
Those
There's
big
a
boys
saving
coming
grace. I will always bring up a list that kind of surprises me just a little bit. I'm not saying I'm shocked because I think it's a terrible list. I'm shocked because it's not something I see very often. I saw a soldier category 7 list, also still running one of Yuna, but I saw this list by Maxim Yang. Dude, if that isn't a porn name, that would be a great porn name.
Shame on you.
Shame on me. But shame on me for not going, what is it, 6th or 7th on this soldier category 7 list. It's a Zach list as we talked about prior to the podcast, but heavy on the lightning, 15 lightning, 20 fire, 9 water. It's a really great looking list, and it did well. You can't be upset at a list that does well. This was my I was shocked at it list. I don't see soldiers that often. I don't see a lot of soldiers at all.
I think that 4-cost Zach can catch people off guard for sure. Especially when you have things like Roche in your break zone. If you swing, pull out Roche like at an end game scenario, you swing with the Zach, get damage, but then you get to pull out the Roche for game. I've pulled that combo on a couple people. Being able to recurs a haster like during your combat step is always pretty good.
Especially if you have the Reno on board.
Yeah.
I think the interesting tech card in here that caught my attention the most is the Andrea Rhodia. Dull 2 active category 7 characters, all forwards opponent controls lose all of their abilities until the end of the turn. You can also dull 1 active card named Cloud and put Andrea Rhodia into the break zone to choose 1 forward and put it at the bottom of its owner's deck.
I'm a giant fan, as the Minerva player, I'm a giant fan of seeing, you know what? You can hate it all you want, but losing all your abilities sucks, all right? All the forwards your opponents control lose all their abilities is kind of nuts. And for one, and can do this on a moment's notice. Look, with 38 Cat 7s in the deck, most of them being your forwards, because you're running 27 forwards, there's a good chance on beginning of first main, you're just blanking their entire forwards.
I have a couple of issues with this though. So I feel like the main thing you're doing with this card is forcing something you want out of the way before you start playing like your Glenn or Tifa or whatever. Actually, how do we play this? Hold up.
Play what?
Card name Cloud. So you Cloud LB first, or backup LB.
There's a backup as well.
Yep. So like you want to use him to make sure they can't do something like Ramsacrack or Zach or Glenn or whatever. You're like trying to force it before the stuff gets blanked. But it's not as universally good as it would seem because they can always just stack on top of that.
Sure.
And you can't really respond with it either because if you do, the ability's already on the stack, so you don't stop it. It's there to force something, and you kind of have to do it the turn you're setting up for a play, and hope they don't have something like a Brynhild or whatever to get rid of it before you start doing your thing.
Sure.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with pretty much all of that. Like I said, it's just a very interesting card. It was something I didn't expect to see.
Not something I've seen in lists prior, that's for sure.
The only thing is, it is a Cat 7 character, so there are worlds where you can do tricky things where like Zach goes into swing and you're like, actually, no, there's, I don't really know what you can really do with this, because you can bring him back with Zach, but like, to blank what? If they're going to be able to do something to you, they would have already done it by the time Zach is swinging. There's a wild cat. Hi.
I mean, who knows? If I'm being honest, but I look at it this way, right? It's a 1-cost Cat 7. Doesn't hurt, right? To force the opponent's hand for 1 may not hurt as much, and for whatever reason, they did well. They got 8th out of 24. And who did they lose to? Officially, they lost to
Earth.
Yeah.
They lost them on Earth.
I think the fact that you can use Andrea Rhodia as just a repeated kill spell by bringing it back with Zach and having the Cloud backup on field, I think that's where this comes from, right? I believe the Cloud is a soldier, so Lucia can actually reactivate the Cloud.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you can just keep repeating it as a kill spell.
It is also running Miwa.
If you can do it with Zach to bring him back to dull the Cloud and do the thing. But you have to. The thing is you have to dull him still. So you can't, like, if you brought him back with Zach, right? You'd have to wait until the next turn for him to do the kill.
That's true.
Which isn't ideal. Like,
Definitely not.
Thing is, he specifies you need a dull active Cat 7 characters or active Cloud, and if you're running the Soldier Cloud, in my opinion, you want to use these for Lucia, not really for Andrea Rhodia. Like, getting the card draw is so much more valuable to me. Yeah, I don't know.
Like I said, just something a little interesting, different.
I like it. It's interesting. Like you said, it's interesting, it's different, it's not something you see very often. Worth at least mentioning. Speaking of things that we should mention, These two heroes have been playing with newer cards and they've been labbing a whole lot recently. I'm going to take a step back because I haven't been doing that as much as these two have. So I'm going to take a step back and give the floor to these two bad Johnnies. And I want them to talk to you guys about just basic conversation about what's been good, what hasn't been good, what they're looking forward to, what they're not looking forward to, things that they like, things that they don't like within the new set. Because these are the things, for those of you who are newer out there, these are the things you need to be looking out for. If you're just getting into the set, if you're just getting into the game right now, or in the last 6 to 8 months, in the last 2 or 3 opuses, the meta is shifting and it's an interesting place in where it's going. These are the cards, these are the things you should be looking out for. Gentlemen, take it away.
Which deck have you been playing the most like new stuff in? I feel like a good one to talk about would be your Zodiac testing or play testing, I guess, with the water lightning monstrosity you put together.
Yeah, it's I would say it doesn't have as many new cards. The only new card in the entire deck is Zodiac itself.
That was a big
but
one.
It's it was originally the card when we saw the reveals. We talked about how Zodiac looked like a good card, and then we kind of fell off of that. And we jumped on the Rala train, right? Rala has a lot of good text, but in actual practice, it's not as good. However,
Off the rails real fast.
Zodiac, on the other hand, now that it, like, we talked about it, we looked at it, and revisiting it was such a good call. I did lose into a warrior matchup, but I did push them to damage 6, and it was just the rough
New
draft
stuff.
testing. It was the first rendition of the deck,
Yeah.
and it performed really well. You got so many floaters between like water and lightning, mostly in lightning. But you got Onion Knight, you got the multi-element lightning that you can bring back from Break Zone anytime you want, during your turn, of course. You got the second rendition of the lightning soldier candidate. You got the lightning 3-cost Emperor that can float. So you can continuously just have ammunition for Zodiac to put a forward into Break Zone, remove a forward your opponent controls, and also remove a card from their hand, from the game. Normally Zidane would give them a card draw, but Zodiac does not.
Nope.
So
Zodiac
it's
is removing 2 things from the opponent, which is pretty strong.
The fact that you also have the second ability of Zodiac, it's Miss Dragon. Remove your opponent's whole Break Zone and draw a card.
Yep.
It's a fantastic ability. So you're pretty much covering a large amount of bases with this card. I also added in Vitra as like a secondary like push for game, because when I was playtesting, I did find that when I lost all my Zodiacs, that deck just kind of, it didn't have anything. It couldn't really push for game. Zach, or not Zach, but Cloud LB and the multi-element lightning can only do so much on their own, and depending on how established your opponent's board is, you just don't have enough juice.
Yeah, the one thing is that Zodiac is still only like target removal. It gets you some hand advantage too, but if he's not really going to win you the game alone for the most part. You need something else that can start, you need Zodiac to clear the board so something else can punch him in the face. That's what you need. I think Virtue is a good option if you're playing Lightning, because you have a lot of good Lightning swingers. Senian, you got Cloud to break something, and then when he swings, you got the Virtue to dull or whatever. You've got the multi-element lightning, so you can dull 2 things, deal a point, or deal something 7k damage. Like, that's a pretty good card to have as your
your backup plan.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to my other deck that plays far more of the newer cards, Mono Ice. We talked about it. I think it was like day 2, day 3 of the second or third podcast recording. That new Charlotte has been handling my light work. The new Kujata summon, also fantastic. Ice has always had issues with board removal. Dulling and freezing your opponent's cards are great, but in specific matchups, whether it's water, wind, or just, the problem child Refia, dull freeze just isn't enough. But in this instance, Kujata giving me more potential to break dull forwards and really establish a board presence was it was a real important role for my deck, and it's been doing a lot.
I didn't see this necessarily in your deck, but there are a lot of like good, cheap ice cards like Laswell, Charlotte, Lena, um, Physalis. You know, all these cheap, ice cards that you can play to use for Kujata. Like you can flood the board with a few of those like low cost ice forwards that make Kujata like free for you. You can draw 2 of them and still have something big like Charlotte or Yustola, or in your case Dion.
Dion's been doing good as well.
Yeah. It's just like I feel like ice is starting to come together. It's almost there. My only issue with it is that having to doll freeze or doll something before you can break it kind of sucks.
For sure. During games, it has definitely showed me that needing that dull requirement has been problematic. I think including a Yustola into my deck would be pretty helpful, but I also don't want to rely too heavily on discarding my opponent's cards. That's only part of the deck, and with Yustola, her damage is dependent on how many cards in hand.
You do something funny like warp the Theodore. They panic and dump their whole hand to not get Theodore wiped, and then Yustola comes out and starts killing the things they played.
I think I'll play her at like maybe 1, 2. I just gotta find the deck space. I'm on a tight list.
The Theodore is a panic button for some people, so that could be a way to force some
Some pretty crazy plays, yeah.
force them to get rid of what's in their hands to activate some of the other stuff. It's not just Yustola, you got like Victoria and stuff in there too.
Well, that's quite a bit about my playtesting with the new stuff. Come on, Nick. Spill the beans about your playtesting.
So I think one of my favorite things I've been playing is the Zang and Tifa combo. Mono Earth with those 2. I'm playing 3 of each because I want them so badly to be on board and to really see how they feel. And they feel good. They feel real good. Having a 5-cost combo of 2 big boys, 2 9Ks that can also immediately deal something 10K and 8K if I so wish. And I'm on Earth. If you have things like Tyra or Lead on board, you can get the Cloud out from LB to do something really funny that like turn Tifa into a machine gun. That's great. I've been having a lot of fun with that. I'm a big fan of those 2, and that deck, it made Mono Earth much more. It just made it much more fun for me. I was already kind of leaning into the idea of playing it, but I don't really like Cat 7 Avalanche. It's just a me thing. I would get too focused on the 1-turn kill type combo with it for sure.
Yeah.
But having Tifa Zengen to like still do what I want in a deck like Mono Earth was really, really nice.
I think it's good that you recognize the fact that you would like personally tunnel vision on the,
oh my god,
OTK.
Yo, I would for sure.
Especially since like as discussed, we've witnessed people playtesting these decks, and we saw how that turned out for a couple of individuals, focusing on that 1-turn kill and just losing the game, overplaying, overextending with Barrett into Wedge into Biggs.
Yep.
And then getting caught with a Laswell into Kirilla and just getting absolutely smoked out of the game.
It's just like I know personally I like to go for the highlight plays if they exist in my deck. So Cat 7 Avalanche is like a trap for me. As far as other new cards go, I've been playing a lot of Cat 13 as well. It's not consistent, I'll be honest. It's really not consistent with like the being able to get the right play for the deck, the matchup you're into.
Yeah.
But man, when you do get it going, it's incredible. The reaction from your opponent when you do something like lightning, like turn 1 lightning into Caius and the Zidane, is just like, well, great. I wish I could have my cards, but I guess I don't now. Fantastic. Or a more stable play is to do something like the Lightning into Caius into like Lumina, so you have a backup and you get to search another card. And you know, that's not the only things you can do. There's a bunch of different like Cat 13 searchers you can play off the Lightning, and because I don't feel like she is the win con necessarily for the deck, just the engine or something that makes it go burr faster. I'm not afraid to throw her out there to let her let her eat the Amas and stuff. There's still things in the deck like Clive and you know, the Fang and 2-cost Noel and all that stuff that can go fast quickly, and then play Sarah and just start
I was about to
actionability
say
for damage.
the main girl Sarah.
Yeah, that's the like, to me, that's the best card in the deck, and it's not close.
What is it? If you have 3 on board, you get to deal a point of damage, and on entry or a point of damage, she gets to kill something, right? A 4 or less.
As long as there's 2, but she counts herself. So as long as you have one other Cat 13 character on board, you play her, and you only need 2 for the break, right? So
yeah,
as long as there's 2 on board, she enters or deals damage, she'll break. But then you need 3 on board for her action ability to go off.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Even if they like, this is a fun little interaction we went through. I think it was yesterday, 2 days ago, 2 days ago, where like I did the point of damage and the damage already hit, but it was a levy 6, so they try to bounce something to like stop the break. But since the break is still, you only need 2, the break still happened even though, you know, something got bounced by the damage, because only the damage.
Opponent must have been real upset about it.
I mean, you know, Sarah is just like, there are ways that just you get your point to 5 or 6 damage, you just play her and win the game.
I believe it.
It's even more because, you know, there's like that 6 damage threat from Ramza, whereas like if it gets to my turn, I have 4 knights on board, I just tap crack and you lose. But I need a 4 to target. Sarah doesn't even need that. She just comes out and action ability wrecked. I've also been testing out the Virtua and Scions, which has been super fantastic. I think I want more than just 1 or 2. I actually might play Virtua at 3. Because they have so many good hasters. I mean, I had Rala on there, so that's a space for me to get rid of. I don't think I need more than 2 Thancreds because I'm playing Cloud LB.
That's true. You also have the recursion with Estinian and Alizé to also grab back your Thancred.
Yeah. You know, so like, there's room for it for sure. Because I was only playing at 1 of before, and losing it to damage is upsetting.
Now, Savage, you haven't been playing any of the new stuff. However, since we're on the topic of cards and some new and explored territory, we've talked about it previously about how you think crystals are not that far off from making a comeback, right? Or being really good. So why don't you tell us about this deck that you're cooking up, buddy?
I fucking suck at the game, brother. So for those of you guys who don't know, I've been really recently, I've been on a kick, a lot of which, and I'm gonna put them up on the screen, so I don't really even know why I'm doing this, but I've been playing the Lucio Glaciella Wazette combo, in that I'm doing my best to remove cards from game, build up crystals, and just shut down your entire board. A lot of these cards include stuff like OA, which is OWE. I also like the ability to double my damage per 1 card on Ramada. Young XML is a great card. Lady Lilith is a great card. The issue that I'm running into it right now is that it doesn't run a lot of EX bursts. So as I'm taking damage, I'm able to get a lot up front. I was able to hit Randy with 6 points of damage, and then I wasn't able to finish the game out from there with one of the decks that he was playing. He was just able to kind of pick me apart piece by piece, and that's even when I got 6 damage in on him while he was getting low rolled. So it's something I'm labbing. I know one of our friends, Moogleman and Amethyst, were talking about this deck. So it is something that I officially put it together. It's there. All the cards are here. So far, not gonna play it in the monthly tournament. I did get a few games of labbing in. I still think it's a B tier deck right now. The only reason this deck works out well is because of Glaciella Wazette, and the only thing that Glaciella was at Super Fears is Cloud LB. Every single time I've played Glaciella Wazette, with the exception of you, Randy, I got Cloud LB'd. And she gets just popped immediately. Now, could I bring her back with a Lena forward? I could. I absolutely could. Right now, our best generator is Lucio. And Lucio being 2 crystals at the start of attack phase is really good. We have cards in the background like Red Mage or Paladin or Oracle or stuff like that. And those give you 1 crystal on entry. But what I'm finding is the replacement of those crystals is becoming incredibly inconsistent. I can get 3 crystals, but then when I spend them, if I don't have Lucio to build that stuff back up, or Jack Garland, or anything that's going to rebuild these crystals, I'm finding that I'm in a deficit. And a crystals deck without crystals doesn't get you very far. The cards are strong. They're not strong enough on their own without having that extra form of currency. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I don't hate the deck, not by a long shot. I think the card art is beautiful. It's not an Amano art. Still sticking on that. But right now I'm not finding as much value in it yet. I have these in a Water Lightning list because I'm convinced that I am 1 or 2 cards off, maybe. So listen, Yuna got printed and made its way all the way through testing. I'm not convinced that a crystal card is going to slip through the ranks. Is it good now? No. I think C+, B-, in a world where S tier is the top. But Amethyst continues to get top 16 with this deck, continuously gets top 16, and maybe she, maybe they're low rolling against her, or maybe the players that she's playing against are bad, or I don't know. It could be a million things, or it could be the deck is good and she's a great pilot. It could be anything. But what we do know for sure is that she's consistently in the top 16, consistently in the top 32. So the deck is capable. As far as I know of, are 1 of 2, maybe 3 pilots of the WOTC, Warriors of the Crystal deck. It's not a very popular deck. So you're going to get a lot of opportunities in opponents that don't know what it does, or opponents that are not familiar with the lines, right? You run into Knights, you see a Ramza Warp, you know what's coming. You see a Corilla, you know what to do. You see a Lucio, you're like, oh, hold on a minute. It does what? Oh, wait, when did it become a 10K? Oh, that's why. I didn't even realize. Oh, young XML can't be targeted? Like a young XML can't X? That doesn't end at the end of turn? Oh, I didn't realize that. And you're going to get a couple games out of that. But crystals as a resource there needs to be a way to generate them quicker, replenish them quicker, and better payoffs. The only reason this deck is good, the only reason this crystal generation deck is good, is because Glaciella Wazette lets you spend a crystal to do a special without having to discard a card with namesake. You take Glaciella Wazette out of there and you are very much behind the 8 ball. That's my experience with the deck so far.
For sure. As far as your crystal spenders, I believe it limits you down to like Lady Lilith, right? As your main crystal spender that'll push you and control the pace of the game.
Lady Lilith and the Emperor.
Yeah, Emperor is great because it has the board wipe potential, but Lady Lilith is, as Nick coined the term with his Tifa earlier, machine gun. Absolutely will mow you down.
Yep.
But that's only if you have the Garland on field. So
much in the same way that Lucio says, let me just pull him up real quick. I should have had it out. Lucio, editor, fast forward. It's me, I'm the editor. For 1 and a crystal, I just choose 1 forward RFG. Right? Yeah. So like, it's helpful. I have ways to spend it. I have ways to do it, but I need Glaciella Wazette to do that. So there's great ways to pay the crystals if you don't have certain cards ready to go or certain cards to protect that card, and Glaciella was at just getting Cloud LB'd hurts.
Correct me if I'm wrong here,
Go ahead.
Randy boy.
Yeah.
But hasn't there been some pretty decent Wall 7 with crystal packages going around?
I've seen a couple
not
players
so
play
much
it.
Not so much that it had a great crystal package. What they generally do is they use the 3-cost crystal generator backups to draw a card, gain a crystal, whatever so have you. Generally, the only card they have in the deck that will spend those crystals, however, is the 3-cost Cyan from, I think it's Opus 14.
I've seen the Cyan and the Glaciella in these lists.
I personally haven't seen a Glaciella in the list, but I wouldn't be surprised. She is a 3-cost.
I saw somebody just before I finished building this deck, and you were having the worst camera day, might I add.
I know.
I saw somebody just before I started building this deck run 7-cost wall, 4-cost wall, and this package, the crystal package. And I didn't get a real good look at what it was, but I have been seeing other people run that. I don't know how I feel about it personally, because nothing hurts worse than paying 7 for a card and getting the auto cancel. That sucks. There will come a time when, and I'm hoping there will come a time, holding this like you guys don't know what I'm talking about. There will come a time where I think crystals will see the light of day, and I don't think there'll ever be an S tier deck. That's an S rank deck. I don't think that'll ever happen. However, I do think we're not super far off, especially with cards like Lucio, where you generate 2 crystals per start of combat. I don't necessarily think we're too far off from seeing a crystal deck make it to A tier. I may be predicting all the way to Opus 30 by right now. I don't think it's 27. I don't think it's going to be 28. I doubt anybody at this card game company is watching the podcast going, oh, you know what? We'll fucking show him Opus 29. We've got you. Oh, you thought we weren't listening. Nobody's listening, right? But maybe, just maybe, if we get enough people playing it and we get enough people seeing it, or they start making enough top 16s, hey, crystals are paying off. They're paying dividends.
Maybe. I mean, it's believable. One of our associates, I'm not going to name drop. I'm a nice guy. But he believes that we need crystal hate, cards that remove crystals from as a resource.
I want to know who this person is so I can meet him at the flagpole, 3:30.
I got you later, buddy. But in response to his thought on that, I did have to let him know that until crystals really start, like you said, outperforming or at least performing on the same level as these other decks that don't rely on a third-party resource, that I don't necessarily think we need crystal hate at the moment.
We don't generate enough of them. My best game, I had 12. That's because I had a Lucio turn 1 and I wasn't getting anything to pay crystals with. Right? If there were a card that said spend 2 crystals, draw a card, right? Maybe we can start saying that there's some hatred, right? And like maybe that is enough to start pushing the hatred. But crystals right now don't have a good enough build and a good enough payoff for there to be crystal
legit
hate.
Crystal hate.
Yeah. I think spend a crystal, gain a benefit is probably the closest thing that we're going to get to having something become beneficial. Spend a crystal, draw a card, all your forwards, dull this, back up, all your forwards gain 1,000 power till end of turn. Right? Something like that, I can start seeing some hatred coming in. Right? And even that's not a whole lot. Right? That to me is fair. Put that on a monster or something. Spend 1 crystal, all your forwards gain 1,000 power and draw a card.
I think
But-
seeing some monsters with crystals would be dope. Also, shout out to the comment section, and for those of you viewing, if you feel otherwise or disagree with perhaps some of the things we've said, leave a comment in the comment section below. Let us know. We might even, we might ask you about your opinion later on in another podcast. Who knows?
You never know.
As far as crystals go, I've also been seeing the new Undead Princess get played in Wall 7. I've seen the new Barts get played in Wall 7.
What is the new Undead Princess? I don't believe
Just-
that I have any recollection of this card.
Just enters, gains a crystal. It's a 3 cost, enters, gains a crystal, and your opponent discards a card, I believe.
Yep, 3 cost 7K. Not bad. Not bad at all. You gain the crystal, you gain a body, and the opponent discards a card. It's up there. I think one of the best, I want to say probably one of the best payoffs right now in crystals is Young XML. Letting me find a 3 cost water forward, putting it on the field. That's fucking dope. I think 8 cost Barts, win Barts, pay 3 crystals. Look at the top 2 cards. If they don't match the criteria to put them on the field, you draw them in your hand. Put them in your hand. So you
You
pay
also
3
got a
crystals.
9K on board, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think he's 9K. So you pay 3 crystals. You put this body on the
Or,
field.
no, I think it's an 8.
Oh my god! Now you're gonna make me check. I thought I knew it, and now I don't. ARTZ.
Nope, he's 9.
He is a 9K.
Okay.
Yep. So you pay 3 crystals. You put them on the field. You look at the top 2 cards. If they're not 3 or less, they just go to your hand. So 3 crystals, 9K body on board. Draw 2, or place 1 on the field and put 1 in your hand if they don't match the criteria. So you really don't, for 3 crystals, that's the kind of payoff that we need in order for us to start seeing some crystal hate. That 8 cost Barts is the closest thing, with the exception of the forward, the Lena forward, that says pay 1 crystal, get a cost of 2 or less from your break zone, bring it back to the field. Separately, pay 2 crystals, get a 3 cost, and put it back on the field. With the exception of those 2 cards, the payoff is not nearly as great as the pain in the ass that it is to gain that amount of crystals. Lucio right now, in my opinion, is our best crystal generator. Jack Garland is a close second to me. I'm all for watching. I'm investing early. Opus 26. I'm investing early in this because I'm seeing that they are giving love to crystals, not nearly as much as we need it to, but I'm seeing that we are giving love to crystals in ways that are not yet game breaking. It only takes 1, bro. Una made it. It only takes 1. And
Chaos
Bart's-
also made it. Only takes 1.
Omega also made it, and they're never gonna let me live that down.
Brother, you got to let that card go.
One day, open challenge to all you watchers, all 6 of you. You make a deck where Omega helps you win the game, and I will personally Venmo you $6.96.
I already took the
That's
challenge.
real
It's
specific.
already on my purchase history.
Friends and family. I mean, there's other cards that don't necessarily fit the fit the role. Like 4 cost Barts, the Opus 21. When he enters the field, search for a DFF forward other than light or dark, add it to your hand, gain a crystal, remove him from the break zone, gain a crystal. Like, there's ways to generate it. It's not yet big enough. And if you guys know something that I don't know in the comments, please feel free to let me know, because I would absolutely love to not go 1 in 3 every month on this crystals deck. At least let me go 2 in 2. All right.
Come on, brother. You're not going to go 1 in 8.
I said 1 in 3. What do you mean 1 in 8?
I heard what I wanted to hear.
You
I
know
think
what?
he was actually saying 2 and 8, but I see what you're doing there.
Not
Yeah.
for nothing. Not for nothing. At least as long as I don't have to play against Mr. Always Has It, I think we're good.
I mean,
Mr. always has it. Good luck with that.
if you play against the man, the myth, the legend.
The Mr. You know I got it.
He's going to have it every time. Doesn't matter what deck he's playing, he's going to have it. And for those of you watching on YouTube, if you're curious about what it is that he has, anything he needs to stop you from doing what you want.
Aqua Tarasu, bro, got 2 in hand. Draw him last turn. Drew him last turn. Oh, that's a nice auto you got there. You know I got it. Amat right there. How about that summon that would win you the game right now? You know it would suck if I had a Mist Dragon in hand. Do you like the full art or do you like the foil? Like, which one did you want me to play against you right now? Just curious, because I got 2.
Oh man, that nice Warrior of Light 10K. You thought I didn't have the ability to remove it? Clive Ifrit, got you.
Every time.
My man he's the legend.
The man is a magician. I'll tell you what. Not
Incredible.
cheating, for the record, because you know he's going to come after us in the comments. Not cheating, but Mr. always has it. Mr. You know I got it. Every time. Every time. I fought him in week 3. 3, was it? I think I fought him in week 3. And dude, I was not going to win that match. He just outclassed me in every way, shape, and form. And let me tell you something. He's like, would you hate me if I'm like, nah, man, if you got it, you got it. He goes, oh, you know I got it.
Of course he did.
But anyways, I think that's good. That's a great place to wrap up here. Thank you for watching. Thank you to Materia Hunter for always giving us the information that we need. Thank you to the Tavern. Thank you to all the channels we're in playing games with everybody. If you guys want to join in on these channels, feel free to do so. I'll put the link in the comment section, maybe not in the comment section, in the information section down below. I appreciate you guys being here. I appreciate you guys watching. It's a little bit longer podcast, so you know it's going to take me a few days to edit, but thank you guys for being here. Thank you to Randy. Thank you to Nick, who trimmed his beard today. Thank you guys for noticing.
That's right.
Drive safe, drink plenty, stay hydrated, and I'll catch you guys in the next lobby.
Chicken nuggets are for losers.
You're a